Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. This is Bo. So if you own one of these, which is a Marlin Model 60, you know two things. They are amazing rifles. You can shoot something out to 500 yards, no problem with one of these things. They're extremely accurate, very reliable, more importantly, a lot of fun. However, they are a pain in the butt to clean because of how many steps it takes to field strip and clean one of these. I'm going to break down all the steps you need to take to maintain your Marlin Model 60 and make it as fun and easy as possible. So come on, let's go. You'll find a lot in pawn shops, gun stores, whatever, that will be gummed up like crazy because people don't want to take the time to clean them properly. So that's the intent of this video. Now this one is from, I think, 1990, from what the serial number said. And when I got it, it was disgusting. This thing had about 5 layers of varnish on it. And there was varnish sprayed everywhere, all over the barrel. The barrel was rusting and all that. But I cleaned that right up. Sanded all that finish off, got back to the beach. Thought it sounded pretty good. All right, so anyway, guys, let's get kicked in. And let's talk about the tools you'll need to get started. All right, the tools you'll need will be one standard and a Phillips head screwdriver, mainly to grab off that standard screw there, and a couple over here. Not that big deal. You'll need your gun cleaning kit to be able to clean out the bore, but that's pretty normal. Welcome to having a gun 101. Some Hop Zone 9 to make sure you have a solvent to get rid of all the crap that's inside the barrel. I use this stuff, which is really good. It's a foaming type cleaner. So you'll spray it down the barrel. It'll foam and it'll bring all kinds of crap out with it. This stuff's really nice. You need some kind of gun oil. Remington oil works fine. And then a scrubber, cleaner, whatever. This is what you'll need for any gun, so whatever. I choose to use an old toothbrush and get yourself some rags and some gloves because the last thing you want to do is be absorbing chemicals through your skin. With that said, let's get started. All right, first things first is taking out the bolts that you'll see here. As you see right here, there is a regular standard size. Take that out. It's not a big deal. We're going to get the stock off. Ooh, all kinds of garbage copped out. Well, that's the best part about doing this on butcher paper. Oh, yeah. There you go. All kinds of things. So, the nice part about this kind of thing, doing it every time you get done shooting, which you should anyway, this is just a bolt to strengthen the stock. You don't take that out at all. You just need this. All right. Anyway, back to what I was saying is if you do a breakdown of your gun every time you're done shooting it, especially if you get one of these that's been used, then you have a much better chance of getting all the goo and nasty stuff out of your gun compared to, there we go, because there is all kinds of FUD and nasties. Look at that nasty stuff. Oh my gosh. Like, I did not put this thing in the dirt or anything. It's just kind of gross. So I take it all the way. You don't have to do this. This is the trigger assembly right here. You don't have to, but when I get all this crap falling out, the first thing that comes to my mind is there's just better just to kind of blow that out and give it an opportunity to kind of clean itself. Also right in here, it's a good idea to shoot. We're going to shoot a little bit of that primer sprayer in there just to clean it out because there might be some dust and other stuff. So anyway, let's keep our bolts together. So we know this guy here, keep that nut, keep that one separate. And then our nut to hold it on. That should be the basic components. You've got yourself your firing assembly, trigger assembly, and your stock. All right, so let's clean out the trigger assembly. This is something you don't have to do all the time, but when I get crap falling out of the gun like that, I assume there must be some dirt or some sand or something that got in there, and who knows. So hit it with just a little bit of your quick scrub, just your action cleaner, and then give it a little scrub with that brush, just like that. You don't have to go too crazy with this because, again, this is not a hugely mechanical part, so it's not that big a deal. But you want to make sure to take the safety off so that the trigger will depress as much as it can. and just wipe it off. See, the nice part about this part of the M60 or the Model 60 is that it's not super critical that you do this, but again, I mean, you can do the job nice or do it twice. So I am the kind of guy that says it's better just to do it right the first time. So when you got crap falling out and there's still crap falling out of it, right, that is a good way to go. So you might have to do that just a couple times just to make sure there's no crap wedged in between. So sorry, it's black parts, right? Right in there, there's a see, it's kind of sticky a little bit. We want to make that not sticky. So I'll take another layer of this, spray that out. Sometimes helps to kind of whack it a little bit. You can just see chunks of crap falling out. My goodness. I think that comes from just either using dirty ammo or just a lot of dust in the air. Because where I normally go shoot this thing, it can get a little dusty, but this seems excessive. So my guess would be this is just years of stuff coming out, which is totally normal. Again, this gun that I bought is almost 30 years old. So it has had many, many, many people there. Now she's a lot happier. Much better. Okay, let's go on to the next. So this will be, I think, the biggest part about how this comes apart here. So there are a couple pins that you have to take out. It's not really that big a deal, actually. There's a pin right here at the end. You just have to take that pin. Come on now. It pushes out. So if you push it right here, there's a little hole there. You just push that. You can either use your, like that. Just give it a little shove. Then that pin pops right out. Okay, and then you just lift the assembly. There, if you see right here, there's a pivot point. Oh boy. Oh, looks like that fell out. We'll show you how to do that in a bit. Gee, Will, that made life a lot more difficult than it needed to be. Right there. There's a spring on there that makes that a little less than fun to deal with. Let me see if I can depress that. This is probably one of the harder parts. So again, you can use something a little bit more, a little easier than that, but whatever. There we go. Okay. So all I did was just took a hand, I know why the problem was. Make sure to take out your rod. So this is the reloading rod. So it had been pushing in there, putting positive pressure against the firing assemblies there. So that needs to come out. My bad. Anyway, so we'll put that over there. Well, we'll give that a roll. Let's give that a rinse real quick. We can just... You just hit that with a little bit of the action cleaning fluid and just give it a little wipe down real quick. Same with that part in the front. Again, this was not the most critical thing to be absolutely like filthy clean, but you know, well, you'll figure it out. I think after you do this a couple times, you'll see that it just needs to be pretty clean. Okay, that's pretty happy. Okay, spring still works. Great. Okay, put that one aside. Back to what we're trying to do here originally. So this part sits in here normally. It popped out. Now we have the firing assembly, the actual firing assembly here. There's a block right here. You see this? There's a spring here with the block. You'll push that block back. Normally, you'll have that. You'll have this part, the actual pullback hammer, sits right here, okay? Just like this. So you'll pull that back, this pops off. Ooh, look how dirty she is. Wow. That right there is one funky gun. Okay, now that we're done fighting the gun and making it super good, let's get to cleaning it. Now, with this spring, you'll see there's two pieces. There's this long metal piece right here, right? And the spring. Just make sure you don't lose those, because that would be bad times for you if you lost them. Okay, so first things first, we have a couple things we got to do. we want to make sure that we're going to clean all of the firing group. So make sure also don't lose that pin. Okay, so we still have that rag with a little bit of stuff on it. Oof. Wow, that's pretty bad too. My goodness. Shooting with cheap ammo, I think, is what did this gun in over the weekend. But sure is fun running a couple hundred through there. Okay. There. Nice and happy. So put that pin elsewhere, so that way we remember this pin goes right here. Okay, now we'll just do that. Get that action cleaner in there. Get that spring nice and just shoot it all over. Oh yeah. Oof. Oh my God, this is a lot. You want to do scrubbies? Give that a good scrubbing. Again, you don't have to pull this apart. I think that's the one thing that most people get wigged out about this gun, is that there's so many parts in the firing group and blah, 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 blah. For a field strip and just a normal cleaning, you don't have to pull that apart at all, okay? So this is just the initial, getting all the stuff out, just trying our best to shoot it. So I used a lot of cleaning solvent initially because I want to push any bits of dirt or junk that is stuck in there out, because you will get a lot. There's a lot of moving parts in this assembly. There we go. Nice. Okay. Oh my gosh, this thing's gross. So right here is probably the biggest part you want to get clean. This is where the ammo is going to be getting fired in this area. So this area really fouls a lot. So make sure to spray it down. Again, doing this more often will make your lives a lot easier over the longevity of this gun. And I'll tell you, every time I do this on this gun, it gets better and easier every single time. And it made me really wish that the person who owned this one originally would have done a better job of maintaining it. But you know what? That would be asking quite a lot of somebody to maintain their gun. But that's why we're here learning today, because I want you guys to be happy, healthy, fun Marlin M60 or Model 60 owners. All right, look at that. Now we're back up to that showroom shine. Hey, very nice. All right, it looks terrible, but don't worry. As soon as we put some gun grease on there, it'll look much happier. So again, for all the parts in here, you don't have to go worry about taking out these pins or any of that stuff. That's literally all you got to do. Okay, keep it simple on this. Keep it simple. All right, so we're just looking for any big chunks of something or whatever. Again, this firing assembly up here doesn't have to be perfect. You're just trying to get most of the fouling off. And there is a lot that will normally be in there. Just the nature of the beast. 22 ammo is generally pretty damn dirty. Okay, so there's that. So we let that soak, but you know what? Oh yeah, get it again. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Give it a scrapies. Oh yeah, it's feeling dirty. It's not looking extremely happy with life right now, but you know what? I wouldn't be very happy either if I was full of dirt and FUD. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. There is your happy firing area in there. Pull that through. And then look at that. That's pretty damn clean. Again, you don't have to go insane on it. I mean, the nature of 22 ammo is it's pretty gross in the first place. But here we go. Ooh, right there is your firing assembly area. That part can get pretty gross. So let's make sure to put another round of fun on there. And really give it the beans as far as getting it somewhat clean. Now you can use a toothbrush or a harder brush on there, whatever it takes to get that caked off stuff off. But again, you know, we're not looking for perfection. We're not sitting there going to do surgery on it, but we certainly want to get most of the fouling off. Okay, that would be the goal. that we want to do. Okay. I'm looking pretty happy with that. So, and again, the nice part about anything with gun maintenance is the more you do it, the better and happier your gun is going to operate. Okay, that's pretty good. Right, it's serviceable, but not amazing. These assemblies right here, I'm just going to spray that off. It's just your hammer pull back, something. Just get the goop off of it. That'll be fine. Doesn't need to be scraped. And then the spring, again, we're just trying to get any kind of stuff that may have been sitting around, or hard bits, or bits of sand, or whatever else off of it. That's all you got to do, okay? Now the fun part. Let's get into doing the actual barrel. All right, so we got our rod all figured out, but there's one cool attachment we're going to use. It's one of these suction. It's like almost like a plunger. So what we're going to do is feed our rod into that barrel all the way till we get to the action area. And you're going to see all kinds of crap that just all the foam pops out. Now we'll take our little plunger deal and we'll thread it super careful onto there. Perfect. Check this out. Coolest thing ever. I love these things. So you'll just pull it straight through and then watch all the crap just come plowing out. All that was in that barrel. That is disgusting. Another thing that's not a bad idea to do is, as well as that plunger works great, but this gets into all the rifling as well. So it's a good idea to shove that guy in there and really make sure to scrape down that barrel. Ugh. Oh yeah, all kinds of chunks fell out there. Look at that. So that first foam treatment we did there got all those chunks like loosened up a bit. You go in there with that brush afterwards. Look at all that crap that just comes out that barrel. It's disgusting. So we'll do that a couple more times. Then what I do is generally take the foam again, right? Shove a little bit in there. Don't have to go nuts. Then take your brush again, and now you have a little bit of lubrication to grab that stuff and pull all that crap out. And when you're not feeling a whole bunch of resistance anymore, then you know you basically got all the grooves nice and cleaned out. All right, let's go ahead and run a swab. Ooh, already did. One is gross. Ew. So you'll take your swab, cut it in half, and make it run. Again, these 22 barrels don't really have a whole lot of room inside of it for being able to take swabs very easy. But you'll see it's very rewarding. So I'm doing it without doing hops yet because we just want to get the crap cleaned out of there. So running it through again. Ugh. It's not nearly as bad the second time. All right, it's still pretty bad. But what I generally do is I'll take a regular full-size swab, cut it in half, then fold it over like that. Then I'll cut it again, so I'm basically using only a quarter. Otherwise, I have a lot of difficulty fitting this thing into the 22 barrel. So now, what we need to do is grab our hops. So hops, of course, hops 9 is one of the older and I think barrel cleaning solvents of choice, which is this stuff. I know some people actually have this as a air freshener in their car. Definitely not to that level, but hey, whatever. Gets it pretty saturated like that, and you can just let it go. Again, I don't really worry about making sure to optimize every little thing. Give it a nice little twist when you put it in there, because you want to have that hops get in every nook and cranny on the inside there. And then, yeah, so generally what people do is they'll do this about, 2 or 3 times just to make sure everything is nicely lubed in there. Then you take another clean swab, and you basically just keep going up and down the barrel with swabs until it's completely clear. So here's a nice new fresh one. Shove that bad boy in there. And you can still see stuff coming out. So you just keep doing this with more swabs until that barrel's nice and clean. All right, at this point, everything has been cleaned. And now we get to start the fun part, which is lubrication. So, well, some people, that's kind of fun. But the nice part is, get yourself a little bit of Remington oil, spray it on your rag, and you can wipe down your gun. Make sure your barrel is nice and wiped down. Gets all those kind of cleaning residue marks off. This is kind of like a final little polish. Now, I don't like to generally spray it on the actual gun itself just because I think there's too much. And quite frankly, you don't need to bathe it in it. You just need to get it kind of clean. It also helps to get rid of all the little bits of residue that may still be persisting or just around. See, just a little bit more. But it also makes it look super nice. Same with the rest of these parts, but we'll do that all as we're putting it back together. So take your barrel. Let me move you guys, make it a little easier on you. Hey, who wants to make it easy on the people who are trying to learn, right? Hey, if you made it this far in the video, say, I'm a learner in the comments below. Again, I'm a learner in the comments below. So here's the fun part. Not really, but it is the part you'll have to do. This is your spring assembly. You want to have the part that has the long metal post. That will go into this hole right here. Give it just a little spritz. Nothing crazy, okay? We don't have to go nuts. You're not trying to drown it in gun oil. You just stick it right there. No problem. Now, the real fun one is there's a hole right here on the back of that block where that spring needs to go. So I suggest giving it just a little love, give it a little wash down. You don't want it to be drowning in oil, but we definitely like oil on there. Okay, so this part you're going to have to be careful. See how that, you want to push this spring until it goes into that block. Okay, so that's the idea. Of course, it's upside down, but I did it the other way so that you guys could see. Now, of course, it jumps out of the hole. This is the frustrating part. I think this is probably the worst part of the reassembly is just this freaking recoil spring. And then, as a fun edited treat, you have to take this and you have to stick it on the block. So you kind of get it wedged in there like that to get it just to hold in place. Get your charging handle in the area. Push it down, and you kind of just push it in. It's a lot easier to do when you can grab it like that. Push it in. Yeah. Here. There you go. Push it down. But the problem is now I gotta pull it down slightly to get the charging handle in there. Good. There you go. There's the charging handle. So if you need to, you can push this assembly down a little bit to get the handle on. Okay. Now, this is where it gets super easy. You see these pins right here? You just align it like here. Before we do that, let's spray a little bit on the springs internally. It's a lot, but just wipe it down. Doesn't really hurt. Again, 22 ammo by its nature is pretty dirty, so you're not going to get, it's not going to be surgical, but it will be cleanish. Okay, here we go. Now take these pins, you want to align it just like this, okay? This part right here goes under this pin right here, and then you just push the assembly down until it registers right there. Remember your pin? I'm going to take that pin and just shove it in. And there you go. Now you have assembled your firing, your action, your assembly. Let's give it a quick little wipe down. Again, we're not looking for pools of gun oil here to be messing up your gun. Okay, and then from there, we have some easy stuff to do. Grab out your stock, like that. We need to reinstall this screw right here if you took it out. If you didn't take away the trigger assembly, that's fine. Take this little post thing, and it goes right there. Come on, baby. Boom. That's a little bit, still a little gritty in there. So let's grab this rag. Just kind of give it a little scrub. And then blow it out. But you can blow it out with compressed air or just your own air. And I got plenty of it. Okay, take that right there. And then we're going to hit the camera, because that always helps. Take your trigger assembly, and it goes like that. Okay. Again, I have a finger on the back of that screw holder and holding in our trigger assembly, because obviously they would fall out if I didn't. Take your screwdriver, go till it's tight. Now, I like my screws to be straight, but that's just an aesthetic thing. Okay, last one. We'll be taking the rest of the assembly. Basically just seat it in like that. That's all there is to it. Now there's 2 screws. Take the big one. I like to do the big one first because it's, well, bigger and easier. Just screw it in like that. It'll pull that nice. There we go. Straight screws. Now, put your last screw in there. And tighten her down. All right. Straight, straight, straight. Perfect. Action check. And release. Good to go. Well, looks like I have a little bit of fouling happening right there. Give it a little wipey. That's good. Good enough. All right, and with that, just wipe off the barrel a little bit. Last thing we have to do is reinstall our loading tube. I throw just a little bit of oil on that. Not too much because you don't want to get it caked up, but that's it. You have a happy, fresh Marlin Model 60. All right, so the fun thing about the Marlin Model 60 is that it is going to work as long as you keep it clean. Okay, so again, this was a long video. I understand that, trust me. But it does take quite a number of operations to get this gun clean. But there really is not a better varmint gun than this. 17+1 is what this is, 1990. So again, depending on what year you are, this thing is just auto-focusing like fun times, right? 17+1 tube fed. Never have to worry about a magazine. Never have to worry about anything. This thing is super accurate. I'm able to pop off targets 300-400 yards out. No problem with this thing. Easy. One thing you will know is sometimes on these, because the older ones, the actions are real grimy. That's simply due to the fact that most people don't clean them properly. So after this video, I think you should do yourself a favor. Go out to your local gun store, and you can pick up one of these things really reasonable. I got this for $150. Okay, granted, I told you this thing was gross. It had all kinds of varnish all over it. They sprayed it all over the barrel and the action, you name it. It was disgusting. But with a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of love, you can get one of these guys, no problem. I would rather go for one of the older models, 1980, 1990 and below, just because you get more shots in the tube. You get 17+1 versus 15+1. And yeah, as much as this is a pain to clean, every time I do it, the action gets smoother and smoother. And I'm telling you guys, not a better 22 in the world than one of these Marlin Model 60s. So if you liked the video and you made it this far, why don't you put down in the comments again, like, really, dude? You're cleaning at Model 60 cleaning fun times? Yeah, that's right. It is Model 60 cleaning fun times. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you later.